So in my last video, I mentioned that I wanted to use the new Leica D-LUX 8 as one of my main video cameras on this Andalusian road trip that we have coming up. But in order to make sure that the image looks the way I want it to, we have to go out and get some sample footage. So that's what we're gonna do today. And so to help me extract the most pleasing image possible to me out of this camera, we're gonna need to use an ND filter. Now, the filter thread on this camera is 43 millimeters, and that already proposes a challenge because that's pretty small. And the other thing that I really wanted was a magnetic ND filter because I wanted to switch seamlessly from video and photography. So the ND filter that I decided on was this one here by K&F Concept, and it's magnetic, and so far it's working good. Even though the ND filter has been working great, there are a few things that I need to warn you about so that you have all the information in case you end up getting this camera or you already have it and you want to shoot some video. Because I wanted the ND filter to be magnetic, the only one I could find was, like I mentioned, the K&F Concept ND filter, but the threading on it is 49 millimeters, not 43. So not a problem, right? Just there's a little step-up ring I bought as well, which has the magnetic ring attached to it. And then I just screw it onto here, like that, like you normally would. And then you connect the ND filter, and it has a little groove so it locks in. I will say the magnetic strength is not the best. It can get knocked off easily, but there is a little locking point. Now, when I first got this, the first thing I did was I screwed it on super tight all the way. But you see, when the lens retracts, it actually goes a little lower than this edge. So the lens thinks it's getting stuck because it's too tight and it can't retract all the way. So you get an error message and you can't turn the camera back on. So what you have to do is, if you're using it, taking photos, taking videos, all good. But when you need to turn it off, you need to do a 3/4 turn so that there's a little bit of space, and then you can turn the camera off, and then the lens will actually be able to retract with a little bit of space. So you can see that it kind of spins. Now, it's not ideal, but that's the only solution that I have with this ND filter. You can solve that by just buying a 43 millimeter ND filter, but they don't make one, as far as I can tell, that is a variable ND and magnetic. It's only 49 millimeters. The only ones that are 43 millimeters are variable ND, but not magnetic. Or if they're magnetic, they are a single strength, which is what I found only ND8 or ND64 or ND1000, which is either too light or too strong. Because for me, when I shoot video, especially during the day or whatnot, I find that ND16 and ND32 is a sweet spot where you can keep your shutter at the 180-degree shutter rule and get really pleasing images. Now, that was a ton of technical mumble jumble. If you understood all of that, it's probably because you're already shooting video. If you didn't, then maybe I can go into it further in a different video. With that all being said, let's go out and get some sample clips. right, so while we're shooting these scenes, Katerina and I stopped for some ice cream, and I thought this would be the perfect time to show you what vlogging might look like on this. Not that we're ever really going to vlog with it, but for someone who might want to vlog, this is sound coming from the camera with the image. I have no idea what it looks like. I can't check any of the settings. If you hooked it up to the Leica Photos app, you could monitor your image, but as of right now, I'm doing it blindly, so hopefully it looks good. Let me know in the comments if it does or doesn't. So Katerina and I made it out to probably one of the most famous places in all of Berlin, which is the Museum Island, because tonight is Long Night of the Museums, which is basically just a night where pretty much all the museums in Berlin are open until like 6 a.m. You can visit the permanent exhibitions or sort of these special exhibitions for this night only. And the vibe is just super wild. You'll buy this Humboldt Forum, which is the old palace. You have the City Hall, the Alex, you have the main church, and then the historic German History Museum, and then all the other museums in the background there as well. But I wanted to come down here because I wanted to film some ultra low light scenes so you could take a look at the footage and see if you like them or not. By the time this video goes up, I will have just seen the footage, so not sure what that looks like, but I have already seen all the other footage that I took sort of throughout the day and golden hour and all that, and I like the footage. So this camera is definitely going to be one of the main cameras that I use, along with the Osmo Pocket 3, shooting all the video for our Andalusia road trip. So I have the first episode sort of storyboarded and planned out, so I'm hoping to get that episode up probably the second week of September. So if you want to catch all 4 of those episodes, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And that's pretty much it. Oh, if you want to follow our adventures through the Andalusia region in live real time, consider following me on Instagram. I'll put a little link below. And that's pretty much it for this video. I'll wrap it up here. It's a little loud, it's crazy, super fun. We're gonna enjoy the rest of the night, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. So thank you for watching this. Let me know actually in the comments what you thought of the footage as well. I'm super curious. And if you have any questions about the ND filter that I'm using, which is obviously not on right now, but if you have any questions about that at all, because you're curious about shooting video with this camera, I'll be happy to answer them. And that's pretty much it. So we'll see you in about a week or so. And as always, live passionately and stay inspired. Bye.